Well, global markets late last week saw a strong rally. In fact, US markets on Friday gained almost 2.5 to, anything between 2.5 to 3.5% on all three US indices. And, that continues to be the trend. Strong gains across the week and a huge rally on Friday is what we saw in global indices. And that's carrying forward slightly even early today morning. Let's take a look at what happened on Friday. Well, the Dow closed around 2.7% higher, and mind you, 5.4% higher on in the week gone by, entire week. The S&P 500 also gained around 3% on Friday, 6.5% up for the week as well. And the Nasdaq was the outperformer, 3.3% up on Friday, 7.5% up through the week last week. And when we're looking at what kind of positivity this is, well, it's the first positive week since May of this year. So clearly good cues coming through by the end of this month. One of the reasons or one of the factors why markets rallied was, of course, commodity prices. They've cooled off, especially where oil is concerned. Oil has come down from that $120 a barrel to around $107 a barrel is where we stand at in early trade today. So nearly 10+% retreat or cool down in terms of oil prices. And when we are switching over to Europe, well, European indices gained as well, largely with the FTSE gaining 2.7% on Friday, the DAX up 1.6%, Stock 600 also up around 2.7% on Friday, and that's led Asian indices higher. So let's speak a bit about how Asia is looking in early trade today. The Nikkei is up nearly 1% in trade, the Shanghai up around 4/5%, the Hang Seng up over 2%, the ASX 200 up around 1.5% as well, and the Kospi up over 1.5% in early trade today. The SGX Nifty also looking good, up around 1.2% in early trade today. However, just one little bit of a blip. When we're looking at US futures, they're trading slightly lower. After a strongly positive week last week, the Nasdaq is down around 5 basis points, so largely flat on the Nasdaq. But when we're looking at the Dow Futures, it's down around 1/5% in early trade today. Talking about commodities, moving quickly on, well, oil is around that, just below that $108 a barrel mark, so 107.7 is where oil currently is at. And gold has picked up some amount of steam. It was around $1,820 an ounce in late trade last week at close on Friday. Currently it's around 1840 mark, and that's also led by some sanctions on Russian gold. However, there are suggestions that largely gold imports were already banned and these sanctions are just namesake at the moment. When we're looking at bond yields, well, direction of bond yields is going to be critical to the way in which markets perform going forward, as well as the Fed commentary last week as well. So bond yields currently, the 10-year US yield currently sitting at around 3.15%. And when we're talking cryptos, well, the risk of trade continues to play out. Cryptos were, into the $20,000 mark was where Bitcoin was at. Currently still around the $21,000 mark in early trade today. That's where we're at, largely positive currently for Indian markets, looking at a 1% plus start, at least as we see it at the moment.